Good afternoon, Fin fans, and welcome to another episode of AT Fins News. Today we're going to be breaking down the Miami Dolphins 31-24 victory over the New York Jets. So without further ado, let's just get right into it, shall we? So after sitting back and thinking about how I feel about this game, I mean, it wasn't a pretty win by any means. We came out really sloppy, really lethargic. I don't know if it had something to do with maybe the bye week. It is a young football team, and sometimes veterans love the bye week so they can heal up, rest their bodies. They know what to expect from a bye week. But since we have such a young team and a lot of young players on there, as far as our core players, it kind of felt like they were lethargic. And even last week, whenever Tua was talking about the bye week, he didn't want the bye week. He's more of like a rhythm player, so I feel like he was in rhythm for the last 5 weeks, and he didn't want to disrupt that rhythm, and he and it showed in his play. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and bash Tua on this whole stream. I'm just gonna lay out the facts that he had one of his worst games of his career, probably. As far as passing the ball, he was off all day. I mean, ball placement was not where it needed to be, especially early on. It kind of started picking up later in the game, but his decision making was a little off. His ball placement was a little off. His and it almost cost us the victory. But to Tua's credit, after he did throw that pick six in the fourth quarter to tie the game when the Jets were being dominated, our defense wasn't going to give up another score to them after they gave them 17. Um, to Tua's credit, I mean, he did lead the team down the field to regain the lead at 31, and that was ended up being the final score, 31-24. But overall, man, I mean, yeah, Tua wasn't good. He even said so himself. Um, but there was a few highlights of Tua as far as what I want to see moving forward as for him to be our franchise quarterback. Um, he actually started making those throws um, behind the linebacker and in front of the safety. There's throughout the weeks, just rewatching the games, you see that there's been wide open, not wide open, but receivers in the NFL wide open that Tua just wouldn't make because it was those kind of throws. But he actually tried those throws, and it's not about him succeeding on those throws or failing. It's about him actually taking those opportunities. So I'm happy that he did that. He had a great throw to Devontae Parker on that corner route. He That was a perfect throw. You couldn't even go and hand Devontae Parker that ball as good as he did. I mean, it wasn't even a 50-50 ball, and usually that's what he throws Devontae Parker, that or a slant. But he read the coverage pre-snap. He knew it was cover two. He knew what he had to do and where the ball needed to go, and he put it in perfectly, and that was perfect ball placement. So we all know he has the capabilities of doing it. It's just he needs to do it more consistently. But the reason why I think, or I say Tua, it was an off game for him. I'm not trying to say that's how he's going to be always, is because even with that touchdown to Devontae Parker on that slant route, if you guys remember, the ball was behind Devontae Parker, and as far as Tua goes, his money throw, even in college, is that slant. It's always right on the money where the receiver can run in stride. And if you rewatch the game or rewatch that replay, Devontae Parker had to reach back for the ball instead of hitting him right here in the hands. And Devontae Parker made a great catch and got in the end zone. But that's what makes me think it was an off day for him just overall. Um, Now, if he continues having these in the next three games, like back to back, then it's concerning. But I'm gonna take it as an off day for now, and hopefully, which I know to his just his personality and how he's so competitive and wants to be great. I don't see him having back to back bad games like this. But it was still good enough to get a W. And another thing that's promising is he had such a poor game in a lot of people's eyes, and a lot of YouTubers that I've been watching and giving him like C's. I mean, that's a fair grade to give him. I would say a C just because he led that drive after he threw the pick six to score, but his fire inside of him too. I don't see there's a way that he has another poor passing game like he did today. I look for him to improve, and he needs to improve with the three teams coming to play us, and all of those games obviously are must win for us in order to try to get into the playoffs, which is crazy. Even thinking about that now, we're 7-7. So I mean, we just got to win out and see where the chips fall, and maybe we can sneak in the playoffs. But no one would have thought of that after that 1-7 start. So I mean, congratulations to them. I mean, the coaching staff being resilient, the players not giving up on the season and saying we'll wait till next year. To go 1-7 and then come all the way back, and now you're at 500. I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself. We're at 6 in a row. We have that tough game coming up on Monday Night Football in the Dome in New Orleans. It's a tough place to play, especially on Monday night. So Tua's gonna have to have a good game, a way better game than what he had today, or we will not win. We'll get blown out probably, especially how good that Saints defense is. But that we'll take a deeper dive into that whenever the preview show is on Friday. But it's just looking forward. He has to play a lot better, man. The defense has to come out a lot better as well. That's why I said I felt like it was just a lethargic game from the beginning. I honestly think maybe the bye week it took them a little time to get going, and then I feel like maybe because they were playing the Jets felt when they from the opening kickoff, the Jets felt like they had the more energy. If you just see Robert Saleh on the sidelines walking back and forth, clapping, getting his guys fired up. It looked like they came ready to play. That's why they got up early. But the Dolphins are resilient, man. They find a way to win no matter what, and we've seen it again. But enough of the whole Tua thing. I do want to get to some highlights. The I just got to give credit, man. The MVP of the game, which I hope everyone sees, is Duke Johnson. Man was running hard. See what happens this whole year whenever all of us were talking bad about the O-line and how they can't run block, how they're horrible at pass block, and they're trash. Do you see what happens when you finally have a running back that can read a hole, or he can manipulate defenders and cut one way and cut back the other to get the hole instead of just running straight forward and not seeing the hole? We've seen countless times like Gaskins or Ahmed, there'll be a hole like 2 feet to the left and they run straight into the lineman. I mean, Duke Johnson set up blocks. One particular play, there was penetration in the backfield, and he just stopped for a split second. He made a cut to the left, and there was a wide open hole for 14 yards. We haven't seen that from our backs this year, and that's why I feel moving forward, especially with these last 3 games, we should use Duke Johnson and Philip Lindsay, and then Myles Gaskins in and out. I think Ahmed's going to be the odd man out on this, but you have Duke Johnson. I mean, he never falls backwards, especially yesterday. I mean, look, he had 22 carries for 107 yards. His average was 4.9 yards a carry when we're only averaging about 3 on the year, maybe a little less than 3. And he had the 2 touchdowns. He was huge. If it wasn't for our running game, we probably wouldn't have came out on top. We controlled the running game, and what helped was going back to the whole Tua thing. If you notice, right from the beginning of the game, the Jets were taking away Tua's first read. They made it a point to make him go to a second option, and he was struggling with it because they were playing man-to-man, zero coverage, which was surprising to me. But what happened? Our coaching staff got to the run game. The run game was working so effectively that the Jets couldn't run man-to-man anymore. They had to go into zone, and we all know Tua eats zones up. Like if teams are going to play zone against Tua, he's going to have a great game. It doesn't matter. He's so good at zone and seeing the windows and hitting the receivers. So that running game, if it wasn't for that, they could have just kept man-to-man the whole game, and it could have been a long day for Tua. But thank goodness our running game showed up today. The first time all year. We're ranked 31st in rushing, and we ended up having around 174 yards. We had 107 by Um, Duke Johnson. We had 54 from Miles Gaskin, another 19 from Tua. I liked how Tua used his legs this game as well. He's seen the opening, he just took it, and everyone loved. I know everyone loved that truck stick that Tua did on Michael Carter, the safety. He just put his head down and ran through him, and even the you can even hear it in the crowd. They got all jacked up once Tua ran over Carter. It that's toughness right there. I love to see that. That was great from Tua. He showed heart, determination, toughness, just the works. And I mean, he has a powerful lower half, so it was he was he was excited from that play. You could see him; he was flexing and everything. So that was really good to see. But I'm hoping that the Dolphins. And oh, one other thing, I do have to give credit because I've been bashing them. Um, I mean, everyone, our whole fan base has been bashing them, but we got to give credit to that offensive line yesterday. That for the most part they kept Tua protected. He had plenty of time to throw the ball. They opened up holes for the running backs. I know Duke Johnson made a lot of people miss, or he had yards after contact, but I haven't seen the Dolphins all year get that get the line the defensive line. They were pushing them back, and that's what helped the running backs be able to pick their hole or find their hole and just hit it. Usually we don't control the line of scrimmage on the line, but hopefully this is something to build on for the line. They gain confidence, and for the last 3 games they can use that momentum to really show what they can do as a unit. And if we can open up holes and control the line of scrimmage like they did today or yesterday, I'm sorry. I mean, it's gonna just bode well for Tua. And the funny thing is that we have all been saying if we can give Tua some time, a running game, a good line, you can see what Tua really does. So I'm taking this game against the Jets as a one-off. I feel if we can run the ball like we did against the Jets, against the Saints on Monday night, Tua will have a really good game, especially getting Waddle back. Hopefully, I'm sure he's going to be back from COVID. Getting him back, I mean, they should be eating on Monday night as long as we can do what we did and control that running game, man. I think the sky's the limit for Tua if we get that same support that he had against the Jets, and it'll look like great football. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping our line found something and they can just use this momentum and they get that confidence. You know that they've never controlled the line of scrimmage like they did against the Jets on the offensive side of the ball. So maybe that will give them some momentum, confidence, and know that they can do it. So they just go out there and have the best versions of themselves, play the best versions of themselves, and dominate that line of scrimmage and see what the backs can do. Make a cut here, open up a hole, hit it hard, and get first downs. I haven't seen the Dolphins run like this in years, man. Like where they were getting chunk plays like 14 yards, 13 yards, 16, 18, 20, 10. They were just ripping off huge gains on the run instead of getting 1 yard here, no gain, 2 yards here. We've seen that all year, but Duke Johnson brings another element to our game, and he needs to definitely be in there more often. He probably should be the starter the rest of the year, and then mix and match him and Philip Lindsay when Philip Lindsay comes back, and then Gaskins can be like a third down back or get a few carries here and there. But I'm not hating on Miles Gaskin. It's just we've seen him all year and it's not working. Him and Ahmed. So for these last 3 games, let's change it up. And we've seen how the impact Duke Johnson can have on the team. Just a different style of runner, and he bodes well for this offensive line. So let's keep Duke Johnson in there hopefully, and then Philip Lindsay have a 1-2 punch because they both run extremely hard and they can get 3 yards after contact, which we need, especially with this line. Um, but we're down to the home stretch, people. We got 3 games left. The Dolphins need a win out to try and get into the playoffs, which again is crazy to even think about after our 1-7 start. But all the kudos and all the credit in the world to the Dolphins organization for sticking together and piling up these wins and making the season as exciting as it is from where it began. You know, we never thought it was going to get to this point. It shouldn't even have got to this point. We shouldn't have lost 7 in a row, but hey, we got to 6 in a row. Maybe on Monday we get to 7 in a row and get over 500, and then got the last two games to play against the Titans and Patriots. But we're looking ahead of ourselves. I know it's not till Monday. I'm just getting excited for some Monday Night Football against the Saints. I mean, I feel, just a quick thought, I feel our defense will be able to contain and stop their offense with Taysom Hill, but just, I don't know. It's going to be a defensive struggle of a game, and whoever has the most turnovers is probably going to win the game. Whatever defense causes the most turnovers will probably win the game, but let's see, man. But other than that, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, guys, so we can grow this channel organically. But other than that, guys, I'm out. Fins up. Peace.